Look at your screen right now. You can see colors, shapes, edges, light. Your brain is telling you that what you're seeing is the world exactly as it exists. It's lying. Right now, at this very moment, your eyes are only detecting less than 0.0035% of the electromagnetic spectrum. That means 99.99% of reality is invisible to you. You've never seen it, you can't see it, and your brain has been filling in the gaps your entire life without ever telling you. What you think of as seeing is actually one of the most elaborate lies your body has ever told you. And once you understand how deep this goes, you'll never look at anything the same way again. To understand what your eyes are hiding from you, you first need to understand what light actually is. Light is electromagnetic radiation. It travels in waves, and those waves come in an enormous range of sizes. On one end you've got radio waves with wavelengths longer than a football field. On the other end, gamma rays with wavelengths smaller than an atom. And somewhere in the middle, there's a tiny sliver so small you'd need a magnifying glass to even find it on the chart. Everything else, infrared, ultraviolet, microwaves, X-rays, it's all real. It's all around you right now, passing through your body, bouncing off the walls, flooding the room. You just can't see any of it. A rattlesnake can see infrared. It literally sees heat. A mantis shrimp has 16 types of color receptors. You have 3. A bee can see ultraviolet patterns on flowers that are completely invisible to every human who has ever lived. In 1983, neuroscientist Vernon Mountcastle at Johns Hopkins University wrote something that changed how scientists think about perception. He said that each of us lives inside the prison of our own brain. We believe we're dealing with reality directly, but everything we experience is actually a model built by our neurons. We don't see reality, we see our brain's best guess about reality. And here's the thing, that guess is wrong more often than you'd ever want to know. Right now, in each of your eyes, there is a spot where you are completely blind. It's called the scotoma, and it's roughly the size of a lemon held at arm's length. It exists because your optic nerve passes through the retina at a point where there are no photoreceptors at all, no light detection, nothing. You've never noticed it, not once in your life. And the reason you've never noticed it is because your brain quietly takes information from the surrounding area and paints over the whole. Your brain is literally photoshopping your reality in real time and never telling you about it. Here's something that will break the way you think about the world. Color is not a property of objects. A strawberry is not red. The sky is not blue. These are not facts about the world. They are experiences generated entirely inside your brain. What actually happens is this. A strawberry absorbs most wavelengths of light and reflects wavelengths around 700 nanometers. That reflected light hits your retina. Your cone cells send an electrical signal to your visual cortex, and your brain assigns the experience of red to that signal. But here's the key. That experience, the redness, exists nowhere in the outside world. It exists only inside your head. If you removed every conscious brain from the universe, there would be no colors anywhere, just electromagnetic waves bouncing off surfaces in silence. In 1995, neuroscientist David Eagleman at Stanford began researching this concept and found that two people looking at the same object may experience completely different colors. There's no way to verify that your red looks like someone else's red. You've been assuming your whole life that everyone sees the same world you do. They almost certainly don't. Your experience of right now is not actually right now. It takes roughly 80 milliseconds for light to hit your retina, get converted into electrical signals, travel to your visual cortex, get processed, and be presented to your conscious mind as an image. That doesn't sound like much, but in 80 milliseconds, a fastball has moved about 4 meters. A car at highway speed has traveled nearly 3 meters. You're not seeing the world as it is. You're seeing where the world was a fraction of a second ago. And your brain knows this is a problem, so it does something extraordinary. It predicts the future. Neuroscientists call this predictive processing. You are not seeing reality. You are seeing your brain's simulation of where reality probably is by now. In 2016, cognitive scientist Anil Seth at the University of Sussex proposed something radical that is what we call seeing is actually a controlled hallucination. Your brain is not passively receiving images from your eyes like a camera. It is actively generating a visual world from the top down, then checking that model against the scraps of data your eyes send in. This is not a metaphor. Your eyes are not cameras. They capture a tiny focused area about the size of your thumbnail at arm's length, and everything outside that area is blurry, fragmented, and incomplete. Your brain takes that mess and builds a smooth, seamless, high-definition experience. A world that feels real, that feels solid, that feels complete. But it's a construction. Every pixel of your visual experience is manufactured by your neurons. So if color doesn't exist outside your brain and your vision has holes that get painted over and you're always living slightly in the past, and most of the electromagnetic spectrum is invisible to you, then what exactly are you seeing when you open your eyes? The answer, according to the last 3 decades of neuroscience, is that you're watching a movie your brain made for you. A movie based on a tiny sample of data, heavily edited, color-graded by your neurons, running on an 80-millisecond delay, and projected onto the screen of your consciousness with such skill that you never once question whether it's real. Every argument you've ever had about what something looks like, every disagreement about what you saw versus what someone else saw, every time you trusted your eyes over someone else's word, you were defending a hallucination, not reality, your version of it. Right now, the room you're sitting in is flooded with infrared radiation you can't see, radio waves carrying conversations you'll never hear, ultraviolet light painting patterns on surfaces that look blank to you. The real world is richer, stranger, and more alien than anything your eyes have ever shown you. You've spent your entire life watching a carefully edited movie, and you thought it was a window. It was never a window, it was always a screen.